talk about the outline of Motorsports Program 2018. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katagiri of NISMO. Thank you very much for a large turnout. I really appreciate it. And I would also like to thank you for your very strong and passionate support and the support from sponsors as well. The other day, Nissan NISMO made an announcement on the motorsports activities. However, and today, seizing on this opportunity, I would like to directly talk to you about the outline of our motorsports activities for 2008. NISMO made an announcement and to enter in FIA Formula E Championships, which is World Top EV race, and we are going to enter in Series 5, which is scheduled for December this year. Formula E has the participants of Audi, Jaguar, Citroën, and BMW and Porsche and Mercedes have also announced their intention to enter. Nissan Intelligent Mobility is going to be demonstrated in the extreme environment of race competition by Nissan NISMO's entry in Formula E. And then Nissan Reef's mass production technology is going to be proven in the EV competitions. We are going to make full use of the experiences that have been accumulated in motorsports so that we will be able to render full support to this challenge. Formula E is a street race. Races are held in cities across the world. And starting from season 5, the race cars, batteries, and motors are going to be fully renovated. It is going to be a high-performance competition. Please don't miss it because it is a thrilling race. And at the Geneva Motor Show next month, we are going to make an announcement of announcement on the race car coloring. With regard to team structure and drivers, they will be announced in the latter half of this year. Please look forward to our announcement. Super GT is evaluated from the viewpoint of racer, teams, and drivers. In the initial records last season, we had a problem with the lack of competitiveness, but we did our best in order to raise competitiveness throughout the year. The teams and drivers scored the earned scores in order to get out of this dire situation. In the final round at the Motegi, number 23 completed pole to win, which set the direction for 2018. Currently at Seppan and at the locations in Japan, we are conducting tests in order to come back as the winner next season. The team structure, number 23, it is the best team structure, so there is no change into the structure. The team principal will be Yutaka Suzuki, who will enter into the 10th year. The drivers are Tsugio Matsuda and Ronnie Quintarelli. This is the strongest combination. The tire is Michelin. NDDP Racing with the B-Max, which entered in F3 and GT300, will step up to GT500. This is going to be the very first entry for GT500, but I truly hope that the team will be able to have the dead heat, the competition for the title in the first year. The team principal is Hasemi-san, and drivers are Mr. Tetsu Motoyama and Katsumasa Chiyo. The driver is Michelin. The number 12, the drivers are Yangan Taiki Sasaki and Yam Mardenborough. The tire will continue to be Bridgestone, and Calsonic and Kansei, which is the main sponsor, will celebrate the 80th anniversary of the foundation. The team principal, Mr. Hoshino, will lead the team in order to earn the title. number 24, Mitsunori Takaboshi is going to step up from GT 300 and to GT 500, who is the champion of the F3 competition. Mr. Takaboshi run as a substitute for Suzuka 1000 and earned podium, and so he is battle hardened and qualified. The team principal Kondo and Mr. Olera will be the leaders, and Yokohama Tire is going to be a very important team, and they are going to win or hope to win the championship. And that the Nissan team is going into the executive director will be corporate vice president Toshikazu Tanaka, and Kakimoto and Krum are going to continue to serve as NISMO ambassadors.
Next, let me talk about the customer racing program. First, in GT3 program, we will start supplying 2018 spec Nissan GT-R NISMO GT3, newly evolved GT-R GT3 we've been developing. With this even more competitive car, Gainer GT3 official partner team will race in Super GT GT300 class and KCMG in Blancpain GT Series Asia. Furthermore, RJN Motorsport decided to compete in Blancpain GT Series Endurance Cup in Europe. Gainer will race in GT300 class with 2 cars under team principal Kazumi Fujii, and drivers for car number 11 Katsuyuki Hiranaka and Hironobu Yasuda, and car number 10 will be driven by Kazuki Hoshino and Hiroki Yoshida. In Blancpain Asia, with a total of 6 races in Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, and China, KCMG, based in Hong Kong, will compete with 2 2018 spec GT-R GT3 cars. Details of RJN Motorsports competing in Blancpain GT Series Endurance Cup in Europe, with 5 races in Europe, will be announced shortly. 2015 spec GT3 will continue to compete in various series. In Super GT GT300 class, Dijon Racing and Tomei Sports will race with 215 spec GT-R GT3. In Super Taikyu Series, Endless Sports, Kondo Racing, and GTNet Motorsports will race in STX class. Kondo Racing will compete in collaboration with Nissan Automotive Technical College, marking the 7th year this year. This is an activity to link education and motorsports where students take part in racing as part of Nissan Automotive Technical College programs. And for this team, Motonobu Fujii will race. In Super Taikyu Series SD3 class, Fair Lady Z NISMO RC will race from Okabe Jidosha Motorsport. Next, the engine supply program. Nissan NISMO will continue to globally supply prototype car racing engines as the only brand supplying engines to major championships such as FIA, WEC, IMSA, European Le Mans Series, as well as Asia Le Mans Series. In WeatherTech's Supercars Championship of IMSA USA, we will supply VR38 engine based on Nissan GT-R NISMO GT3 spec to Extreme Speed Motorsport, which won 2 times in the first year of racing. And the team will compete with 2 cars. FIA, WEC, LMP1 class, which saw the number of entries suddenly increased to 10 this year, will have Bicalis Racing Team, an Australian team based in Germany. And Nissan NISMO will continue to supply them with VRX38 Evo engines. Furthermore, we will supply VK50 engines to all the cars racing in LMP3 categories in various parts of the world. let me walk you through with other motorsports-related activities in Australia. This year again, 4 Nissan Altimas will compete in locally very popular supercar championship. We will also support grassroots motorsport activities in Canada. One make race using March Micro Cup is continuously going to be held. Here at home in Japan, we will start offering grassroots support, including support to teams racing in JRC with NISMO road cars. Last year, we began offering driving lessons called NISMO Driving Academy, where NISMO contracted drivers directly drive NISMO road cars. About 300 customers already attended to date, and we plan to host this in various circuits across the nation this year as well. This concludes the overview of this year's activities. This year, while showing strong racing performance taking over Nissan NISMO racing DNA in the top categories such as Formula E and Super GT, we will carry out activities to have customers enjoy motorsport and driving through customer racing program and grassroots motorsport support using NISMO road cars. We very much look forward to your very strong support this year. Thank you.
Katagiri.
Mr. Katagiri, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce team principals and drivers of Nissan teams, which will enter in 2018 Super GT GT500. Please give them a round of applause. And first, 2018 Super GT GT500 class Nissan teams. The Executive Director Toshikazu Tanaka. Car number 28, NISMO, the driver athletes. Principal Yutaka Suzuki, and driver athletes Tsugio Matsuda and Ronnie Quintero. Unfortunately, we do not have a team principal, Mr. Suzuki, here today. Car number 3, NDDP Racing with the B-Max. Team principal, Masahiro Hasemi. Drivers, Masashi Motoyama and Katsumasa Chio. Car number 12, Team Impulse. Team principal, Kazuyoshi Hoshino. Drivers, Daiki Sasaki, Yam Martin Borough. Team principal, Masahiko Kondo. Drivers, Joao Paulo de Oliveira. Will actually win the title. That should be the thing I really would like to see achieved. Just like Team Pursuit in Pyeongchang Olympics. I truly hope that all the 4 teams will be able to grab the title. Join the photo. Please look.
Car number 11, Gainer, Katsuyuki Hiranaka, Hironobu Yasuda. Car number 10, Gainer, Kazuki Hoshino, Hiroki Yoshida. And team principal of Gainer, Kazumi Fujii. We now like to ask team principal of Gaina, Mr. Fujii, to say a few words. Well, please come to the very center of the stage, Mr. Fujii. Very nice to meet you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fujii from Gaina. Well, since last year, we have renewed our organization, and then we are competing. We are going to compete with two cars, and then really aiming to gain championship, whichever of the two teams can win. And then that is the sort of aspiration we would like to definitely realize this year. And I'd like to solicit your support. Well, thank you, Mr. Fujii, and please come back to the original position. 2018 GT3 official partner team and gainers, well, we would ask your strong and passionate support to this team. We now like to go to the photo session, and those of the press people, well, please get ready. Team principal and drivers, well, please move to in the GT-R NISMO GT3, which is located at the right-hand side of the stage.
では
Well, those of the press people, if you have any requests, well, please ask each of the people to really look into your cameras. Well, that's about it. Well, and at the very end, well, the gainer people, please look to those of the photographers in front of the escalator. Will this be all right? Thank you. And with this, we would like to conclude this photo session. Thank you very much, the members from Gainer. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we would like to conclude the Nissan Motorsports Activity 2018 announcement. We very much will ask you to look forward to the strong performance of the Nissan affiliate team through 2018. Well then, let me introduce the programs which would follow after this on the stage. After this, we are really going to have the talk shows by the Nissan team principals and drivers. Starting from 1:45, we are going to have the talk show by the team principals of GT500. And from 2:30, we are going to have the GT500 driver talk shows. And from 3:20, we are going to have the GT3, new model driver talk show. And starting from 4:30, we are going to have the fun events and high five meeting. And as for the way to take part in that, we are going to really show you how to be involved in the preview of Nissan Motorsports Live starting from 4 o'clock. And I hope that you will stay and enjoy yourself in Nissan GHR Gallery to as long as you can stay. And thank you very much for your attendance.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming into Nissan Motorsports Activity Announcement 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a talk show with team principals and drivers. I hope you will enjoy it. First, the first talk show. It's GT500 Team Principals Talk Show. Now they will talk about machines for 2018 and other topics. I hope you will enjoy the talk. Ladies and gentlemen, team principals, give them a round of applause. Again, I would like to introduce them. Yoshitoshikazu Tanaka, Executive Director, NDDP Racing with D-Max, Masahiro Hasemi. Team Impal, Kazuyoshi Hoshino. Kondo Racing, Masahiko Kondo. Thank you for coming. Please take a seat, please. I think it's too easy for you to make an error. So it looks like you were enjoying. During the season, it is quite rare to have this kind of occasion, so I would like to ask a lot of questions. No, starting with who? Mr. Hoshino. You should have a lot of things you would like to talk about. I hope that the order is different. Hoshino-san, starting with you. I'm sorry. So, again, Mr. Hoshino, you should be the first. Very brief, please. Well, the Kondo-san is always bullying me. Just a couple things only. Now, Hoshino-san, there should be a lot of people in the audience who are looking forward to your talk. Mr. Hoshino, how's this season? Well, last year it was terrible, so I hope that things will turn out well. The drivers and sponsors and Nissan, we were not able to give good results. I'm sorry about the result. But I don't want to look back on the last year's performance, and I don't want to talk about it. But it's a different story for this year. Now, before entering into this season, starting like in October, together with Mr. Tanaka, Team Impal is being supported and a lot of different data, and in many ways, and together with NISMO, the data being analyzed, and so we will be able to come back this season. So we have to do everything to win. So we are already in the race, so to speak. Looking back on the last year's performance, and I try to behave well as a team principal, but I have to be prudent. So this year, I will be true to myself. Rowdy Hoshino. I don't have to behave well, so I will do my best this year. Great, thank you for encouraging comments. Mr. Hasemi, so you're a senior to Mr. Hoshino. I hope that I also would like to ask a question of you. Hasemi-san, GT500, this season you have come back as a team principal. How do you feel? Well, I have been involved in GT300 for many years and training programming. In fact, that was the thing I was doing. And all the drivers were trained well. Now, it was the off-the-shelf vehicle, so to speak, when it comes to GT300. And so the vehicle-wise and the performance-wise, not that good. So I couldn't ask the drivers to stretch out. But now, I'm now for GT500, so the drivers will be able to stretch out. Hasemi-san, when you came out on the stage, there was a big applause. So I think a lot of people were waiting for you to come back on the stage of a GT500. So you are going to be aggressive in this season, right? But if I may say this, B Max, which is supposed to be involved in the maintenance of the race car, I think it is a good team working together with the NISMO. But this is the first time for them to get involved in GT500. That said, we have those two drivers, and Mr. Motoyama is a veteran driver. And well, he is not a big veteran. I am a big veteran now as a team principal. So B Max and staff is going to be supported by those veterans. So I don't think we're going to have a bad outcome. Hoshino-san is saying your talk is too long. That's Hoshino-san's statement.
今日たっぷりある
We have plenty of time today. And then Mr. Kondo, well, if you can be brief. And well, before, well, just next to all these well seasoned well team principals, well, I am very much privileged up just to say anything. But well, we didn't really do well last year, but we had one win before that, and even with SEPA, well, the test seemed to be doing very well, and so I am not really going to say anything well very big, but definitely to really well win once, and then Kondo-san's team. Well, we can really well look forward to the well good result. You are too short, and then you are too short. I think well this is well how long you should talk. And the executive director, Mr. Tanaka, well, it seems like well all these people are in a good teamwork. Teamwork itself is very excellent, and team well pursued. So, so you are really working together and collaborating together, and
今日ね、ニスモの鈴木豊が
Mr. Yutaka Suzuki of NISMO is suffering from flu and he is absent. But well, four teams of the Nissan affiliate teams, all of these do have very distinct features and characteristics. And with this kind of unique characteristics, and then we are really competing amongst ourselves. And at the end of the day, we would like to win the championship and title. And then as the Nissan team, this has been ongoing for so many years. And last year, be, because of the hardware well, a shortage or something missing in terms of hardware, and then we have really caused a lot of the inconveniences to the teams, and so that is how we would be reflecting ourselves as NISMO. And so definitely we would like to really offer the robust hardware, and other than NISMO teams, well, three teams for these themes. Well, we would be very much committed to really reinforce support so that all these four teams could perform better. And so that is, I'm sorry, I have spoken a little too long. And then you are really mindful of others. And so with this new machine, and each of the teams has started testing this new machine, I believe. And Mr. Hasemi, well, what was your reaction? Yes, yesterday and the day before yesterday, and the shakedown was done, and then well, it went very well, and I think the drivers had the good reactions or responses, and then well, so you have this Motoyama-san and Mr. Chio, and then with GT 300 and NDPP, and then for the first time in many years, yeah, we're going to work with this driver, and then what was your impression? Well, he really well behaves as I instruct, and then Motoyama is the problem. Is it? What do you think of Mr. Motoyama? Well, he is very seasoned and experienced, and based upon his experience and my experience combined together, well, we are to really lead the team. and that's the way we are going to go. And well, car number 3 is going to be very competitive, Mr. Hoshino, and then well, he is much of the senior, and so I cannot say anything well easily. But in terms of the atmosphere, well, driver is the sort of the boss, and so in meetings and others, well, I am stepping back a little bit, and then well, I am not really strong in my sort of personality and nature. And the Hoshino-san's for teams and the drivers, well, you have seen some changes this season. And Mr. Sasaki, well, I've been well with him well for all the time in Malaysia, and all the comments and well all these were instructions vis-a-vis the vehicle. Well, sometimes it sounds very harsh, but we really to really make the vehicle well racing faster, and he is very professional and young, and then both in Japanese and English. And I think, well, it's not just a matter of the language skills, but I think, well, there seems to be some differences in the way to really interpret the vehicle performance, and also, well, the reading of the lines. But he has really, well, this kind of very big momentum. But in developing and building the vehicle, Sasaki-san's and other people's inputs would be very important. And then also, as I said in the morning, well, NISMO's data will be gathered and then reflect upon this pit in and pit out, and then with the point 1 second or so, and then well, we really have to win in this kind of competition, in how short we can finish the work in the pit. And so I will just make it sure that we will be able to do so. And then we are getting paid after all, and so we cannot really make any excuses. That's how we are going to compete this season.
Wonderful comment from Mr. Hoshino. Mr. Kondo, Sasaki, Mr. Sasaki, how do you feel it? Now we have Takaboshi on the team, JPE. We have been working and testing together with them. JPE is a very good team to identify powerful athletes, and they were praising Takaboshi. And then the Daiki-san was switched to Mr. Hoshino's son's team. Well, he's a good athlete as well. I think Mr. Sasaki was a very good player and athlete. Mr. Hoshino was saying that. I think he is not anymore fresh, and so we push him into Mr. Hoshino's Hoshino's team. JP was a fearful entity. Therefore, for young drivers, including Chio, those fast drivers, we are having them in the Nissan's team. Hasemi-san's and Hoshino's team, you all have veteran drivers, young gun drivers. Impulse, it's a young combination. Well, you say that they are all young. Well, it is not just the friendly club. Instead, for instance, Hasebe-san and myself would not stay long, not stayed in the pit. I think it is a competition over a difference of 0.1 second. So it is a huge, big competition. So it should be a huge race. If it is going to be a slow driver, then he would not have an opportunity or the future next year. And so I think it is going to be a fierce struggle. Mr. Tanaka, now we were talking about good team play, but as the discussion goes on, now they are all rivals. True, in this world, living in this world, now all the people do not like being defeated, otherwise they would not survive in this world. But as the executive director, you have a lot of Nissan teams, different teams, so you would like to make sure that the GT-R will have the wins in the competition world championships, and so there should be collaboration as well as competition, right? True. Well, at the end of the day, most important is at least one team will win the title. But in the process, that there will be two other competitors teams. We have four teams, and for other two competitors in total, we have 12. So it is supposed to be a fight between 4 cars and 11 cars. So it is a real competition. So we have to stay all the time aggressive against the competitors. Otherwise, it is not an easy game to win. Hoshino-san, do you agree? True. Well, I have a lot of experiences. Hasemi-san was also is also the same with him. Now, basically, we all know, three of us know how the condition is when it comes to race cars. So I'm not bullying anyone, but it is a very strong personality to be demonstrated to our team members, and by doing so, that I hope that the drivers will be able to grow. Motoyama and JP, all of them. All of those drivers won championships in the past, and with Sasaki-san and Yan, so they are also expected to win the title. That it gives me the utmost pleasure. In this season, the test is done, and Mr. Hoshino, what is the condition of car number 12? Well, Mr. Kondo's team is faster. It's terrible. Car number 24, the best condition, right? In Sepang, the performance turned out to be good, but well, it does not always mean that the performance will be kept in that way. We always have good results in Sepang, but coming back to Japan, now that is going to be the testing ground. The tires that we used in Sepang, how they're going to turn out in the Japanese performance, so that in the opening round, I hope that our team will be ahead of Hoshino's and Hasemi's teams. That's not an easy task. I know about that. And Hasemi-san, you don't want to be defeated, right?
の500ですから、
はい。
さっきも話したように
And it's going to be the very first in many years for 500, and then BMAX. It's going to be newly participating, and so we will be watching how the others would do and very slowly move. And so vis-a-vis the opening of the season 2018, you have a lot of expectation. This is we do have some more time, and so I am not going to dominate and occupy all this the time. So I'd like to open up the floors for the question and answers, and then no personal questions for Hoshino-san, and then there may be some secrets to be kept, but vis-a-vis the team principles, and please ask how each team principal is thinking. And so those of you who have questions, please raise your hand, and then the staff will bring you a microphone. And yes, the child in the front rows, please. Well, Mr. Kondo. Mr. Kondo. The two cars are for sale? Well, this one is definitely for sale. And then what's good about it? And then, it's about 30 yen. Hoshino-san and GT is not for sale, but this one, this is the cars for sold to the racing teams, and then we own one, and then Super Taikyu race is being competed with this, and then this car. And then, you can buy a condominium. So this is the price tag. Well, you shouldn't say that. And then, for team members, sometimes, they can't really purchase the cars themselves and then compete. And so when you grow up and then when you become rich, you can think of buying a car. Thank you very much. Thank you. And the next question, please. Yes? Yes, the person raising the hand, a man with glasses in the back side. Our staff is going to bring a microphone, so please use the microphone. Well, good afternoon to Mr. Tanaka. And this for the reliability of the GT-R. What is your assessment? And then reliability. Well, a very sharp question. Well, definitely it's good. And then, well, all these were team principals who are competing. Yes, what is your impression? Starting with me. Well, excellent, overwhelmingly well. So I can assure that. And then, well, Mr. Tanaka, if he says that, we can depend upon that. And then all these four teams have not competed yet, but well, based upon your test, what is the impression, Mr. Kondo? And then we have been pretty well, performing very well. And so, well, last year, well, as Mr. Tanaka said, at the start of the last year's season, well, they was not really well, working well. But well, this year, from the very start, we are really doing very well. Not just our team, but all these well, other teams, well, Mr. Hasemi's teams, and well, all these well, four teams, well, will be performing very well. And then reliability, Mr. Tanaka. And this is a very sort of the serious and heavy word for you. And last year, in the first half, the impression wise, well, I just forgot personally, but there seems to be a certain impression lingering. And then, well, there's so many lessons we can learn from our experiences last year. And so definitely this year is going to be okay. Well, so, well, please, we'll look forward to their performance this season. And we still have some more time, so we'd like to entertain. Yes, a question from a woman, and that's the request from Mr. Kondo, and then probably not necessarily related to racing, but to the extent possible with these people on the stage will answer to your question. Any lady? Well, don't be shy. Yeah, and then some new half person can also ask questions. Yes, well, the man who was disappointed that the question should be raised from a woman, but are you half and half? A man and woman? And well, I am from Shizuoka. Yes, well, from your hometown, and in your team principal's position, when you go to circuit, I presume that you would like to drive yourself and then race yourself, but you have to let drivers race and compete. And well, is there an expectation vis-a-vis the drivers and to really race with this kind of spirit? And then all these team principals used to race or compete themselves, and so based upon the experience.
大人の話する。
Please take time to listen to me. Well, I have to hide my own true intentions, but I think the age is different from the past, and so of course I want my drivers to grow. When I was young, the world was different, but that kind of advice would not mean anything. So everybody starts with the low skills, and therefore that I hope that those drivers will take 30, 40 years or 20 years and to grow. So step by step they need and to hone their skills. And please come back into to Shizuoka Prefecture, from where I'm from. Hasemi-san, that you served as a trainer for the drivers in GT300. Is there any good way to give advice to them? As Mr. Hoshino mentioned, well, driving itself is different from the past. Therefore, it is difficult to give any advice. But if there is going to be 1 hour driving, that the how to drive is extremely important. At the end of the day, you should not fail in the race. Always the constant driving at good speed. And that is what is most important. Hasemi-san, on the course, Oh well, during the race, do you yell at the drivers? No, I have no experience as such. No, like even 30 minutes before the test, that we are all calm and eating the lunch and snacks. Mr. Hoshino, are you also a calm personality? Yes, I am. Well, Mr. Kondo is more excited during the race. I think, Mr. Kondo, you are the most passionate. I think the drivers say that they are fearful of Mr. Kondo, the team principal. I think that the drivers of my team didn't really like me, I should say, because I did not really praise those athletes. I'm not that type, in fact. Mr. Takaboshi, he is a newcomer. He doesn't know what to do, so sometimes he is very critical. Then I really, well, I'm not on the position of the team principal to please the team members. So you are the one who are really fearful. I think somewhat self-centered. That's how they view me. And Hoshino-san and Hasemi-san as a team principals, I think they know how to give instructions to the team members. But I'm a young team principal, so it is difficult to persuade all the team members and to follow my instructions. Well, without any compliments, I think he has a good leadership. What we have to pursue is the same, but the expression of that leadership is different. I'm closely monitoring Kondo's behavior and his leadership. He is doing fine. I think all the fans are really expecting all the teams to deliver good results. I hope that the team principals will do their job and to win the title. I think we still have some more time. Maybe Hoshino-san, it's a time for you to sing a song. Well, instead of me, that Mr. Kondo is going to sing a song for us. Mr. Kondo, are you good at the singing? I'm not good at the singing in front of people. So, any questions other than songs or singing? So, a lady in the audience, the microphone will be brought to you. Just to wait. And from the back, you can get the microphone. I'm from Suzuka, near Prefecture. Until last year, I was really excited about the 1000 race, but which race do you recommend to go to other than Suzuka 1000? Because that was the last time Suzuka 1000. That's our team took the fourth position. You still remember that, right? Mr. Tanaka, how's that Suzuka 1000? Other than that, which races should we see? Well, at Suzuki, the Suzuka 1000 race is gone, but the Suzuka 10 hours will be a new race. And Suzuka racetrack is trying to invite world-class GT3 race cars to the track. I think some of other teams are going to join this race. So I hope that you will be able to see that race. At the same time, Super GT is going to be around to be held in May this year at Suzuka. It's a good season, so I hope that you come over to GT500 race. At least one of the 4 race cars will win the race.
我々出ないです。
We are not going to enter into 10 hours race. but the way you look at the races, and then you really buy pit pass, and then you look at the starting and from the stadium, and also you want to really look at the activity in the pits of the teams, and if you walk around S curve, and also you can just spend 2 hours and 3 hours, and then all the drivers activities or behaviors can be observed. And so this is really somewhat adult-like comment, but would you like to take my advice? And then very gentleman-like instruction was given by Mr. Hoshino. Thank you. And so this season racing schedule will be changed from last year slightly, so those of the fans can really enjoy the racing in a different way. And Mr. Tanaka, the Suzuka in the summer, and we are looking forward to the entry list, and then I hope that the GT-R teams will perform well. So it's almost about time to conclude this session. So lastly, we would like to ask each team principal to say a few words. So can you please stand up? First of all, Mr. Hasemi, if we could say a few words. And I am a newcomer to World GT500, but I will do my best, and I hope that you will give us big support. And I'm looking forward to that. And Mr. Hoshino, this year, Team Impulse performance and powers, but also the power from NISMO and data will be mobilized. And we are really going to have the good cooperation, and so we will go for it this year. Thank you for the very strong comment, and Mr. Kondo. The same, and then for the teams, we'll try to compete against other manufacturers, and so please give us your big support. And Mr. Tanaka, the executive director, after these 3 team principles, if you could conclude. We are really going to really make our utmost effort to the very end. And GT500 team principals talk show will be concluded. And Mr. Tanaka, Mr. Suzuki, Mr. Hasemi, and Mr. Hoshino, Mr. Kondo, please give them a big round of applause once again. There's the team principals and executive director and all those people in the audience. Thank you very much for staying until the very end. And then we are going to have the break, a short break, and from 2:30, we are really going to have the talk show of the GT500 drivers. So GT500 driver talk show is going to start from 2:30. So I do hope that you will enjoy such an following event in the gallery. So with this, thank you very much for your attendance and for GT500 Team Principals Talk Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are really having a good time. And thank you for waiting. On this stage, starting from now, we are going to have the driver's talk show. And being serving as the master of ceremony for today's event. My name is Megumi Sato, and thank you for your cooperation. Now, on this stage, we are really going to start GT500 Drivers Talk Show. Of course, they talk about this season's machines, and also you can really have them talk. Usually, you don't really get to listen to. Now, we would like to invite all the drivers to come up onto the stage. Now we have all these drivers on the stage, and once again, let me introduce to you from your left, Mature Otec GT-R, Mr. Tsugio Matsuda and Rory Quintalari. From Craft Sports Mature GT-R, Satoshi Motoyama and Katsumasa Chiyo. And from Calsonic Impulse GT-R, Daiki Sasaki and Jan Mardenbauer. Lastly, for Engineering Advanced GT-R, Mr. Joao Paulo de Oliveira and Mitsunori Takaboshi. Takabori? Did you say Takabori? No, did I say the name wrong? Well, from Engineering Advanced GT-R, Joao Paulo de Oliveira and Mitsunori Takaboshi. Well, very nice to meet you. And then, let me introduce to you an interpreter, Ms. Sonia Ito. So please be seated. So we have all these 5 drivers on the stage for talk show. And this season, we have a new driver here, so we are really going to have them talk. And then Mr. Matsuda. The 2018 new season started with a test, and then with this announcement, lastly, the season is to start. And every year, at this time of the year, we have this a sense of excitement that the season is going to start. And do you often have this kind of opportunity where the 8 drivers will come together? Well, this year we had some camp together, and so unexpectedly we have more of the encounters, and so you are so familiar with them and you got bored of seeing them. Well, 2 of you have a very long relationship. Yes, we are kind of fed up with each other. Well, Motoyama and as well Mr. Matsuda said, we had the training camp, and then they went to Okinawa. But I wasn't really invited. I was the only one who was left out. And then I just looked at SNS and learned that all of them are in Okinawa. Well, those of you who went to Okinawa, but just me, I didn't go there. And then I talked to Chiyo, and then Chiyo was there. And then I just started hating him. And then you have such a very high level of skills that you don't need to be in the training session. And I wasn't really cold, but I was invited to go to Hokkaido. So yes, I was invited to the colder places. And then you have this season of training in Okinawa, and Motoyama-san just went to one of them, not the 2 of them. And then we went to both of them, and there has been so much temperature difference. And then after that, we went to Malaysia. And so you've been going through this testing and trainings, and so we are really going to ask about that. And Motoyama-san, the team member has changed, or the team has changed, and so we are having this refreshment, and so from BMAX, and it's going to be involved. And so overall, our motivation is very high. And also BMAX and then 300 and SA, and then they do have a lot of experiences. And so in terms of the membership, so we are quite familiar. And so this is the third year for GEO. And so we would like to really deliver the results. And then we would like to really say goodbye to each other, hopefully. And then, yeah, because we have been so close and then working together, and then when the results were delivered, and then we are really going to go separate ways. Is that what you're saying? Well, definitely we would like to deliver the results. And so in terms of the graduation, yeah, if you'll be able to really achieve that, that's really good. Well, you're shocked. So the graduation, well, which of the two is going to graduate? Well, of course, it depends on the performance. And this is my third year, and definitely I like to deliver the result. And also we are having a new team, and so with the fresh sort of the motivation, we are to start. And in the third year, if I cannot deliver the result, I will be really thrown out. And so that, and then my teammate was talking about the graduation, but I am the third year student, and so yes, I would work hard to the possible graduation in NDPT and NDPP. Well, the Nissan's Young Drivers Training Institute, and then I will be there, and then not this other junior, but Moto Yamazaki. So you are also the driver to be developed. The very first one is Yasuda, and in NTDB, the first graduate, and then Chio-san also. Well, I am the second term, and next year the third year, and so we are really going to have this for junior and senior relationship. And Motoyama-san, NTPB, you are the most junior, and then have Roni following. You said that, and so you are the youngest, and so. Well, we will be coming back to you for the topic of machine, and Sasaki-san. And you are really was be seated in the back row, and then the car number 24 used to be the other end, and now you are coming inward, and we have this this is my usual sort of the position, and it is indeed true.
に今シーズン
So number 12. How's it?
監督が面白いですね。
Hoshino-san is really interesting. Now we stick to the speed, and he is really serious, but on other occasions he is so funny. He is such an interesting person, and we are enjoying the tests, and we are looking forward to the opening. Yan-san, how's the season? How do you feel that together with Sasaki you are going and to go through the season?
Nissan 2 years ago in Formula 3 as a teammate. He's really fast. We're both the same height, so it's useful in driver changes. And testing so far, we've been very quick. Both of us same speed, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the season.
そう実はね2年前はF3 でチームメイトだったのですごい仲良くさせていただいておりまして、そして僕たちは背もすごく近いので今度一緒に乗ることになる、ドライバー交換の時もさっさとできるっていうところがすごくやりやすくてね、テストをやった時もすごい順調にいきましたので今シーズン大変楽しみにしております。
はい、佐々木選手
Mr. Sasaki, how's the teamwork? Since 2 years ago, there were interactions, and so you get easily friends with each other. Are we good friends? I can't speak too much because I don't speak English. Janssen's English is a true English, British English, I should say. So sometimes he speaks fast when he's excited, and I can't get it. Usually he is kind and he speaks softly and easy English. So there are those speakers without authentic English, right? Yan-san.
English is really good. He is right. When I get excited, I do talk quite fast. So I'll remember now to talk a bit more slowly.
いや本当にね、そうそう、英語うまいですよ。うまいんだけど、確か僕は興奮するとすっごいペラペラ本当の国技の英語が出てしまうので、確か分かりにくいと思うので、これから注意をしてですね、ゆっくりとエクサイティングになりたいと思います。
はい。
嫌に英語を教えてあげるといいねっていうことを。
実はもう
In fact, well, he is teaching me English. In fact, I'm joking. JP, now the season will start soon. How's it?
楽しみです。
I'm really looking forward to it.
He's so fast. Malaysia test, he was, of course, very impressive. First time driving our car, the 500, and has very good speed, very good information to the team. So I'm very happy to work with him. Of course, last year Formula 3 champion. So he's obviously a strong talent, and I'm looking forward to work to develop more the tire. I think one of the things that we really have to keep working on is try to improve more the tire, and we do our best. Thank you.
そうですね、テスト、マレーシアでもテストを一緒にさせていただいたわけですけれども、新しいチームメイト、本当に、500初めて走るかと思うんですけれども、素晴らしいスピードで本当に楽しみにしております。昨年の F3 のチャンピオン、僕は本当光栄に思っておりますので、一緒に今年は一生懸命ベストが尽くして一緒に頑張りたいと思っておりますし、楽しみにしております。今年の僕たちの目標の一つとしてはですね、タイヤの開発を考えたいというふうに考えておりますので、今年1年を通してですね、2人で力を合わせていろいろ感じたことを、話し合いながら開発の方も考えたいと思います。
And the partner, Mr. Takaboshi. You're quiet in this lineup on the stage. How do you feel? Well, this is the place I was really looking forward to, and stepping up from GT3, I'm really pleased. And the JP is my colleague, Super Formula champion, and he is a very fast driver, so I hope that I will be able to work together with the JP. I'm sorry for this serious comment. Takaboshi-san, are you not a serious personality? You are not. I am really serious, and it is fun working with JP. It's like a feeling in Malaysia. We really enjoy the days. JP, how do you find Mr. Takaboshi as a partner?
I think it's always important to have to enjoy with your teammate and to have as much freedom and a good connection. So with me too, I realize, of course, coming up from Formula 3 is always challenging, and if I can help in any way to make him more comfortable and to let him give his best potential, I think it will be very helpful for the team. So this is very important. So we really enjoy our test in Sepang, and I look forward to enjoying the season with him.
本当にね、素敵なチームメイトだというふうに思っていますし、僕たちはね、僕ミツと呼んでるんですけれども、彼ともう最初からすごく仲良くしておりまして、F3 から来ているということで、もちろんチャンピオンでありますけれども、確か新しい環境ということで緊張するところもあるかと思いますので、僕は長年やっている分だけ、それだけ助けになれたらなと思っておりますので、本当に、相談にもいつでも乗ってあげたいというふうに考えております。テストの時はですね、KL、そしてセパンでテストしました。いい時間を過ごしたと思います。これからもワンシーズンは少なくとも一緒に頑張りたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
はい。
Well, all these teams seem to be enjoying themselves, and then the change of the teammate, is it do you think that it's better to have the change of the team member? NISMO 5 years in 2010 and Impala, and then inclusive of that, 6 years we have been in the same team, and so this is the racing team mate, which has been staying with me for the longest time. Was the same with me, and it's quite unusual, and it's just like a couple, and then without having any verbal communication, we can understand each other, and then I think they are really on a good terms, and then the managers, Malaysia. And then we shared a room with Chio and others. And then, they really will stay very late until finishing the driving. And then, it's dark. And then they are really coming back in separate cars. But they are really having their hands held together. And then in the dark, after it gets dark, they are. To the very well. You really didn't see she is very well, and then probably because it was dark. They just had held their hands together. They are in such a good terms. You were really at a loss, and compared to 2010, I think the relationships improved for better, and then we are on the best terms now. And then, we are about to really, improve our relationships. And then, oftentimes teammates will go to dinner together, and then you have this table of 4 seats, and then you will face, on the other side. And then, with they will sit together on the same side and next to each other. And then, they are really looking at the same cell phone, and then looking at the talks on line and others. And then, they are really seated next to each other. And I think that is really reflected on their performance. And so probably we should hold our hands together in our team. And so. And then you have a very long experience of working together. And do you think Ronnie and Tsugo-san are really outstanding? And then together in Hokkaido, even before 2 days to our arrival, they were already there together. And so, yeah. And I asked them, what did they do? And then they were just running on the snow. And then together, we went to do the sightseeing. And then, we had this Hokkaido for the very first time. And so probably, in January and February, I spent more time together with Ronnie than with my wife. And so, you are really on a very loving relationships. And then just half jokingly, I said this, but in front of me, on the snow, and Tsugu was really running on the ice, and I just kept watching him all the time. And then at night, we really looked for the very good Italian restaurant, and we ate together the whole time. And then Tsugo was really, I feel sorry for them because, in each of the localities and local communities, we will look for something very good, and then we will try to, look for the best, restaurant. But because, Tsugo is always, with Ronnie, and in whichever country, he has to go together with Ronnie to go for pasta. I feel sorry for them. But this was very good-looking man, and then Ronnie has been very helpful, and also, I have given some more hair from my side, and then to Tsuguo. And so, thanks to that, I think, Ronnie has, lost some weight because of Tsuguo. Haven't you heard of that? And then, thanks to Tsuguo, you have been in a sort of better shape. Tsuguo really is making a lot of efforts himself.
Well, just do it somewhere else if you're going to praising each other. In a separate room. So, Hokkaido and Okinawa, you did the training, and you also did test drives. In Malaysia last month, we went there and did the test drive, and we came back And then in Okayama as well, the number 3 and number 12. We went to Okayama. So Impal and BMAX. Well, the race car was good because of the good developing skills. The shakedown, right? Yes. How was it? Was there a change? Well, no major change, but as the team, this is going to be the very first try. So we are going to just start the season. So I think just before that, we did a good result. We did see the good result in Okoyama, number 12. How's it, Yan-san and Mrs. Sasaki?
It was better than Sepang, Okayama. The feeling in the car was the balance was a lot better. I really enjoyed driving the car, like really thrashing the car. It was really fun. It was good fun for the first time since Thailand last year. So yeah, we found some new settings in the car, learning different tires, and so yeah, good. Enjoyed it.
そうですね、岡山で大変楽しいエンジョイできたテストだったと思います。僕は久しぶりタイ以来だったんですね、車に乗るのが。なので今回の岡山で新しいセッティングですとかタイヤとの相性などいくつかも見つかったので、本当に乗っててすごく楽しかったのでいいテストになったというふうに思います。
はい、岡山
So Okayama test, it was a good result. Number 24, Seppan was really nice, you said. How's the result in Seppan? What do you think? It was really nice. Lap time, it was okay. It was really nice. It was really good, and with good tires. And in December, I went to the test drive again, and in February, the aero package, which was renewed, the downforce was increased, and it was easy to drive. So I hope that this kind of situation will continue. The situation, the level, the quality we achieved in Seppan. With that, we will be able to deliver good results in the season.
Test, obviously, you know, we are doing different things there. Many teams are testing, and we have a lot of new parts in the car, a lot of new tire development, new engine specification, and so on. So it's always difficult to judge exactly how fast everybody is. But I think our test was positive in terms of finding new ways to set up the car. I think we could work on the setup of the car more than usual. We still have to develop the tire in terms of, I think our long run pace still not where we should be. I think our long run pace still a little bit poor towards the end of the run, so that's what we have to improve. And of course, Mitsu's input is very important to improve that as well. So we are working together to improve the performance over the long run.
そうですね、テスト、セパンのテストに関してですけれども、たくさんいろんなものをテストする場ではありましたので、たくさんのチームが集まってニューパーツでしたり、新しいエンジンのスペックだったり、タイヤですとかいろんなテストをするので、どこのチームがどの車が速いということはなかなか一言で言うことはできないと思うんですけれども、その中でも非常にポジティブなテストだったなというふうには思いましたし、ステップアップの一つのステップとして非常に良かったと思います。その中でも感じたのが、もうタイヤのロングランはまだこれからだなというふうに感じました。先ほども話したように、タイヤの、開発とともに改善していきたいところではありますので、今年はやはり僕たちもそうですが、NISMOチームとともに改善していきたい部分の一つとして、そのタイヤのロングランのタイムラップですね。なので、それに向けてこれからもうちょっと頑張っていきたいというふうに考えております。はい。
JP, you're a serious person. You talk long. And you should also talk to Sugio. You didn't talk to him. I do. What would you like to talk about? What question do you want? Sugio-san, together with the Motoyama-san, you've been working together with them. So it's kind of a double MC, so I feel comfortable. I understand. Shio-san. this is the third year. You have to deliver a result. How's the situation after the test? Off-season tests are good, and since the final round at Motegi, we are continuing the same level and quality. But other competitors are also improving the quality, so we have to watch out. This is my third year. For the past 2 years, well, I accumulated the experiences, and so I think this year should be the culmination of the experiences I built with my colleague, and I'm really satisfied with all the talk my colleague did.
ですか。はい。そして私ちょっと個人的には
And personally, well, Sasaki-san, and well, what is your impression of the change of the new tire? And for so long, well, you've been using the same brand tire, but there is a change of the tire, and you feel comfortable. Well, the resistant tires, as has been said, over the long run, and to driving at constant rate, well, it's very good. And well, Yokohama, well, if they would do work harder, and then well, we will be able to do better for this well. The other cars, and so I think well, if that proves to be true, well, you'll be able to perform better. And then in this well, the driver talk show, since we have time, we would like to take questions from the audience. And the microphone, yes. Sorry. Well, before going into that, I'm very sorry. But today, well, vis-a-vis the drivers, I have I prepared some quiz, and several questions are already prepared. And so, starting from now, we are really going to give you the paper to write down your answer, and then your pen and sketchbook. And so I hope that you will answer to my question, and just in one word. Well, answer would be okay. And then, are you ready now? First of all, the very first question. The very first question, question number one. What is your beloved car? What is your beloved car? Well, currently, the car you love best. So, are you okay with the pen? Well, Ronnie is really helping Mr. Matsuda. Well, they are really helping each other. Now, what is the car you are driving personally now? So, I will give you a cue, and then will please show your answer. So do I have to write it down? Oh, well then let's go. Yes, well please show your answer. Well, can you read it out? GT-R NISMO, EDC. And then you have various other cars, Mr. Ronnie-san. And then if you can just speak into the microphone. Nissan Skyline, and 60 years the anniversary for vintage car. And then that was to replace that. And then the 60 years anniversary model. And then in your Twitter also you have talked about that. And then GT-R. Yes, this is the car, my beloved car I'm driving, and premium edition, and then a more adult-like car. Mine is more messy, and I cannot really disclose much, but I live very close in the neighborhood, and then the sound of the drift, and then it is always Tsuguo who is driving the car, and I can really recognize by the noise, and then I think he is really doing the attack or everything, and then so that's how I recognized, and Duke NISMO. And what is the sort of appealing point? And it is really nimble and agile. And then X-Trail NISMO, X-Trail. And you're continuously driving this car. And well, this is the third model of X-Trail and the NISMO version. And then, well, the earlier, well, the previous car was the one owned by my father. And then
in UK, GT-R and 370Z NISMO.
日本ではね上の車ですけれども、イギリスではこの3702とそれからジュークですね。イギリスにあります。3台です。
やっぱり GT-R3 人が一番好きですか？
So you love for GT-R the best?
The fastest, yes.
一番速くてね、一番気に入ってますよ。
I like old cars as well.
古い車も大好きですけどね。
はい。そして
And JP? Fuga. So, adult-oriented vehicle. So you're an adult. And Mr. Takaboshi, NISMO. It's a cute car. You like it. What do you like about it? Good economy. The Skyline was my previous model. Compared to that, it runs on the regular gasoline. It is really nice. NISMO road car series, a good choice. NISMO road cars are really fashionable and good looking, and good driving and fast cars and the fuel economy. So, and then different lineup products, the diverse lineup. So I personally really like NISMO. Now, if time allows, then we may be able to have another talk on road cars. Now, the second question. So the second question is going to be the last question in this quiz, probably. The next question is, the driver you never want to lose to. Who is a driver who you do not want to lose to? Now, those drivers don't have to be Nissan drivers. It's a tough question. It's a tough question to answer on the stage. So you don't want to talk about Ronnie and Sugio. Those are the ones who are the top, who believe that they are the top players. And so it is a difficult question. That's what I mean. Okay. Well, if you don't have any drivers you don't want to lose to, but that's okay. So just say no, none, or maybe. So how are you going to write on the prop? So just show it once you write down. Please be ready. What are you laughing at? Are you ready? Go. How's it? No, starting with you. Ronnie. There's a narrow sign here. Me? What about Ronnie? And the man sitting next left to me, Satoshi. And I wrote Ronnie here. Well, I think all of us don't really like Ronnie. Not envious. But Ronnie here again. So Motoyama-san, Ronnie, and Chio, Ronnie. And we are ready to lose to Sugio, but not to Ronnie. That's a shocking news. And Sasaki-san, Ronnie. So against the number 23, in particular Ronnie.
いや次はボーリング。
Turbo. Ronnie is not skillful. He is a good, but against the GT, other than GT car, he doesn't have many things to do or be skillful at, except ping pong, table tennis. He is good at it. Backhand drive is a favorite style. Feint hit in the table tennis. So he's not fair. He's not a man of fair play. So number 23.
So you're doing a good job because high.
はい
そうで。す。やっぱりニスモに勝ったらやっぱ素晴らしいと思いますので、やっぱそれが目標ですよね。
やばいね。
やばいやばいね。
That's number 3. Number 23, Ronnie and Sugio-san. So number 23, probably that they all of them have admiration for Ronnie and his team, Sugio. I think with the Nissan NISMO car was always at the top and trying to compete against it. So Ronnie and Sugio are always the ones that they admire and compete against. NISMO team is being supported. And the Impal team, when you were in the Impal team, you were not doing fine. The Sato-san instead was doing fine. So there is competition within NISMO and Nissan and Sugio and Ronnie, a team that we would like to outdo them, to be frank with you. So in this competitive environment, we are doing our best in order to raise the level of our performance. Well, time being limited, and so just only one person is permitted to ask a question. And the props will be returned, and please return them to our staff. And probably in the center, the microphone. Would you please stand up and ask the question? The microphone will be brought to you.
ですね。
I'd like to ask a question. As athletes, well, in your daily life, what kind of training are you doing? Well, depending on the driver, how can I say? Well, in the 40 degrees for summer time, well, they would wear overcoat and then have all this, well, the hokkadon, and then, well, so something extraordinary would be done to really train yourself in case of the Formula One drivers, and then they would have this, well, do the squat and also the push-ups with 30 kilograms of the rice, well, the rice bag. And then, well, Matsuda-san, well, training, if that is well, training, and I wasn't really well invited to Okinawa, and so the training, well, Mr. Motoyama, and then well, you have so much of the trade secret, and then this is a very well, I wasn't really well invited to Okinawa, and then well, you have so much of the grudge, well, well, and then well, the training at Ronnie, and then well, I just he would come to me and then check my muscle on my back and others, and then well, you got the some tan, even though you haven't been to Okinawa, and Ronnie didn't really give me anything, so I am well so much free time, and then as you were well aware, it's not that you will be able to join a 40 Super GT all of a sudden, and then you have more of the downforce, and then the corner speed is really getting faster, and so all this the inner muscle of the whole body, and that should be really trained, and then you just really love this way. And then, well, in case of Matsuda, well, yeah, really, having this, the training photo up on SNS, and then everybody is really done by everybody. It's not just Tsugio, But well, all these trainings, you are really having a lot of trainings yourself. JP, well, the road, and then you have, you really are very fast.
Yeah, cycling is something that I started a few years ago. I used to do more running, and running for me was my sort of main cardio exercise. And then cycling is very good because it involves many of the challenging things. Because you're riding, you're paying attention to the road, you're watching things around you, you're going fast, you keep your core position. So there's many things about cycling that are very important. So many racing drivers in Europe and in the States, everywhere, are doing cycling. So it may be the best kind of training for a racing driver.
そう何年か前まではずっとランニングをしてたんですけれども、最近はですね2、3年前からサイクリングを始めました。まあ、やっぱカーディオ運動としてはやはりすごく素晴らしいものだというふうに考えています。でなぜかというと僕はもうハイスピードでずっとサイクリングをしているわけですがまあ、もちろん運動しながらそして非常に注意を働かなきゃいけないですよね。道を走っているわけですからスピードの中で、注意深く走ることとそして、コアボディですね体の姿勢にも完全に全身に力を入れて、走っているので多分レーシングドライバーにとってはこのサイクリングというのが一番向いているかもしれません。でヨーロッパやまあ、世界の、レーシングドライバーというのは意外とサイクリングやっている方が最近多くて、皆様にもお勧めします。
はい、ぜひサイクリング
Well, definitely, and well, I recommend cycling. And well, time is almost up, so well, please, well, the drivers stand up and very briefly, well, if you could give your message to all the people here, and starting with Matsuda-san. Yes, well, lastly, well, the season is to start, and together with Ronnie, well, this is going to be our well, fifth season, and we are really going to work hard so that we will be able to report the good results. And please support us. And well, thank you very much for coming to Nissan Global headquarters today. And as Tsugio said, well, and then we have one in 2014 and 2015 and in 2016 and 2017. Well, we were really not able to get the championship, and so together with Tsugio and all the other people, I am going to work very hard to deliver the good result. And Motoyama-san, please. And then, well, we are really going to really well start this season with the third year, and then we definitely would like to deliver the results and won the championship, so that we will be going to be a very good team.
And this is going to be the third season with my colleague, the first win and the series champion. These are going to be my goals, and please give us continued support. Kondo Racing fans and team principal, Mr. Kondo, for 3 years, and thank you very much. I move on to a different team, but my fighting spirit is going to remain as it is. And please support us.
New teammate. I hope to see you all at the track. This year looks to be a lot more successful. So thank you for your support, and come and support us at the track.
はい、インパルカルソニックで2年目となります。今年は新しいチームメイト、2人とも力を合わせて一生懸命頑張りたいと思います。本当に、結果は出せるというふうに自信を持っていますので、皆さんもどうぞ応援のほどよろしくお願いいたします。
日本語頑張ります。
In Japanese. This is JP. This year, this is the 13th year as Nissan driver. It is my great pleasure. Thank you to Nissan. And a new teammate, Mr. Takaboshi. He is really a fast driver. I'm really pleased to see him. F3 champion title holder. I'm looking forward into the opening of the season. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. And Mr. Takaboshi.
今年、
This year, GT 500, I have stepped up into this
目
series.
的には、チャンピオンといよいよまずは
Instead of a championship title,
それを実現できればいいというと
title,
ころで
I really would like and to at least score one win, and that is supposed to be my initial goal. And I would like to work together with the team members. Thank you very much for all the talk. And with this, I would like to bring this to a close and give them a round of applause.
はい、それではドライバーの皆さんどうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Thank you.
はい、皆様最後までありがとうございました。
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And Sonia-san, thank you for your interpretation. And after a break, we are going to have another round, which is new GT3 driver talk show. Please stay close to the stage. It will start soon. And with this, the talk show has come to an end. Thank you.
さて皆様お楽しみいただいております。
I hope you're enjoying your time in 2018 Nissan Sports activity announcement in session. Now we are going to have a driver talk show for a new type GT3. GT3 category race around the world. We are going to have a new machine, GT3. NISMO development engineers are invited to this talk show to talk about development and stories. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the drivers. First, as I have already introduced, Super GT GT300 and Plus GT3 official partner team, Gainer, Katsuyuki Hiranaka, Hironobu Yasuda, Kazuki Hoshino, Hiroki Yoshida, and Nissan GT-R NISMO GT3 development and drivers, Michael Krum, Masataka Yanagida, and Mr. Motonobu Uchi, who is going to enter in Super Endurance Series STX class, and Mr. Yuzo Ishikawa, who is a corporate vice president of NISMO in charge of development and engineering. Thank you very much. Please and take seats. Thank you very much for you to participate in this talk show. We would like to have a talk with you. And prior to have a conversation, Mr. Ishikawa, would you please give us an explanation about this new machine? Now, new machine that all the people are waiting for the past 3 years. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in charge of engineering and development. My name is Ishikawa. First, I would like to share with you the major modifications that we added into this machine, this newly evolved Nissan GT-R NISMO GT3. The slide, please. Next slide. Yes. First and foremost, the major modification. The point here is dynamic performance improvement. And as you can see in the slide, the lower half, this is a horizontal cross-section, 1.5 GT3. And the above one shows the modified model for model year 2018. You can see the yellow portion, colored portion, engine and transaxles in the back. As you can see easily, engine position was changed about 130 millimeters lower and 150 millimeters to the back, toward the back. In GT-R, well, the position of engine was the same as the commercial vehicle, and that was okay, and that was good. What is good about GT-R? Now we stick to that. However, it turned out in order to gain speed, that the heavy part should be in the lower position or in the center position. That is more advantageous. Therefore, this turned around, unlike GT-R3s, other GT-R3s. Well, excuse me, that we switched to this kind of a position. And on the right-hand side, you can see some closer photos. I wonder if you would tell easily, if you take a look at the engine room is placed backward and at the lower position. On the far right, this is the photo of engine. Oil pump is located in the bottom, and that is for the circulation purpose. And the oil tank is a new oil tank has replaced the old one. So these are the major changes. And as a result of those changes, some other modifications were also added. Suspension as well. In the past, we use the commercially available suspensions, but in the test environment or the race environment, we definitely need the one that responds quickly to the driver's need. Next slide, please.
Now, aerodynamic performance, and of course, well, it is very important. And GT3, well, car, and well, the BOP, balance of performance, and well, the balance of performance needs to be well carried out. And even if you will develop a new model, if you just increase in downforce, it's not the case. However, well, and then regardless of the posture change, and then to secure the stable downforce. And then what it says here is that, well, for the endurance race, and then the vehicle height is increased, and particularly if you have all these ups and downs in Nuremberg, well then we have to be lower in addition the vehicle height, and it was at the disadvantageous position in order to really gain more of the downforce. While the vehicle height needs to be lowered, and even if you have the the higher vehicle height, well, the same downforce can be secured. And so that is a change we have incorporated this time. And also back to the engine topic that we have covered earlier. And the very right-hand side, what shows the top is this model, and then the previous model is shown at the bottom, and the yellow color what shows for the engine, and in front of that green. Well, on the top chart, the green shows the radiator and intercooler. And as you can see here, well, we have more of the space available for that. And then, as you can see, well, the aerodynamic model in the left-hand side, and then as well, all this air taken from the front is well flown. And so that means, well, you have the better cooling performance. And then in the Seppen, we had the test, and then even in this, the heat of Seppen, we were able to have this very, very good cooling performance and in the endurance race. And then there are so many things put together in dense way, and then the cooling performance will deteriorate, but it will be providing the better the cooling efficiency, and also we will be able to really secure the good downforce in that context. Well, let me move on to the next slide. And this shows the vehicle stiffness, and also we have elevated the vehicle torsional stiffness by reinforcing body float structure. And then from 2012, we have been competing with GT-R, and this is made of metal in the body, and then as we have using it, it has a crack, and then the stiffness is rather weaker. And so there have been so many points where we should have the improvement. Therefore, we have optimized all this, and also just looking at the lighter weight, and also looking into the stiffness, and also in terms of durability and reliability, it has already been incorporated. And with the change of the engine, and then we have changed all these suspension parts and others, and then driver train units and chassis parts. And let us move on to the next slide. And for drivers, the most important point here is the driving comfort and air conditioning and operability. And these are the areas where we have focused on. And then definitely, I believe that drivers would say that there has been a significant improvement. Now, the seat position was lowered at the same time, to secure the good visibility for drivers. And in terms of the safety measures, you have all these nets and others, and then there have been so many factors which would reduce the driving comfort, but we have to really have optimization. And also we have looked into the outside air intake and GDL, same as the GT500, and then we are really making good use of that, and that was really good. But compared to other GT3s, the natural air intake seems to be weaker. And in air conditioning, if you have the air conditioning, it makes the weight heavier. And in Europe, we really would like to remove them. And even then, that would really be functioning as we have designed. And the air ducts on the left-hand side, the black colored portion shows the air ducts, which is at the above the steering wheel. And then, compared to our experiences, we have improved the operability of the redesigned steering wheel and switch panel. I think this is going to be the very final slide I am sharing with you, and these are the specific features we have incorporated in the new model. Thank you, Mr. Ishikawa. And thank you very much for the technical details, and I'm sure it was easy to understand. And development of such a model for the car, and Mr. Krum and Mr. Yanagida have worked as the development drivers together.
Right. And Mr. Fuji, you are on the car as well. So I would like to talk briefly about those things. Mr. Krum, it was a good learning moment for me. Before driving the car, I didn't believe it. Well, having listened to this presentation, I think everything was fine. But for the actual driver, how's the performance improvement and the comfortability? That was okay. But this year, what kind of a performance will be achieved during this season? Well, the race car's performance is raised. That is obvious. The tires are different. And so there should be fine-tuning of tires. What would be the competition level? But the difference of vehicle performance, for example, lower position, that's very extremely important. It is developed by the teammates, and the driving style are all different for the driver. Therefore, so all the drivers, it is a big challenge for the vehicle to be improved for all the drivers. And GT3 development, how long did it take? Well, the shakedown in the first shakedown was, I think, March last year at the Fuji Speedway. That was the starting point. So for 1 year, in other words. During this period, how did you evaluate the improvement? GT-R 1 generation ago, the shakedown was also done, and compared to that, in my experience, this model year 18 GT-R is obviously different because the starting point is much higher, so it is marvelous. Once inside the car, you will feel that you can make it. Mr. Fuji, in Super Endurance Series, you drove the previous model. How's this new model? Mr. Krum and Mr. Yanagida, they were involved in the development, and I drove this vehicle. As has been explained, the vehicle itself has made a good progress, and so when you hop into the vehicle for the first time, you will see the competitiveness and feel the competitiveness. Now, this new machine is going to be introduced into this year's series, and all the drivers of the Gainer are going to drive this vehicle. Mr. Hironaka, this machine, how do you feel it when you get on the car? In Malaysia, for the first time I rode it. It was a well-balanced vehicle and easy to drive. Well, if we only talk about it's a fast car, and that would mean that it may put us in a very disadvantageous position. So I should not that vocal at this moment, but the setting of capability and the tire setting throughout the season, I hope that with this vehicle we'll be able to be in the top group. The Gainer, the 4 drivers with the 2 vehicles are available for the season, as you can see in this photo. The Hiranakas, Mr. Hiranaka and the Yasuda for this number 11, excuse me. this is the first. It was the first time to drive in Malaysia. It was really a hot day, and then I forgot to turn on the air conditioner. And then it was really hot inside, and just my error. I didn't turn on the air conditioner. Ishikawa-san's vehicle. It was really nice because once the air conditioning was on, it was so comfortable inside. Did you have a long relationship with Mr. Ishikawa? With his vehicle, the go-kart, when I was a young boy, I was in the racing kart period. So two of you were friends for many years. That there was a Biwako circuit in Shiga Prefecture, and my colleague is younger than me, but he was known that he was a very fast kart driver. But it is really a fresh moment for the two of them and to see each other. I thought I found my colleague really a frightened person, but he is really kind to me. And another car is number 10. Kazuki Hoshino and Hiroki Yoshida are the drivers. It is a very refreshing moment for us. Now we had some the working relations in the endurance race and the others. We have known each other for many years. How's the condition of this new machine? Ishikawa-san, as Mr. Ishikawa explained in detail, as a driver, the downforce improvement and the cornering speed improvement, and thanks to the well-balanced weight. So these are the two things that we have recognized clearly. Mr. Yoshida, and together with the Kazuki-san, you were going into ride on the vehicle. And thank you for a kind word.
And well, in 2015, well, we drove together, and last year, and 14 and 15, well, in it were other team, and I drove for GT-R, and then Kazuki-san was also driving GT-R, and so. Well, what was the condition? I really asked him about the condition, and also we had a lot of talks. And so, working together in a team, in the same team, well, I feel very much comfortable. And then, well, it was very smooth. And then, well, he wasn't really saying that as a person I was a good person. Well, that kind of comment was not really made yet. And then, well, I didn't say that. Yanagida-san were gainer full members, and then it seems like that they are really on good terms, and then rather than just having fun, but it seems like they are really enjoying a very good teamwork. And then car number 10 and 11, well they haven't really talked to each other. So what is this sort of the impression? And Hiranaka-san, well, car number 11 and car number 10, and are you really competing? Well, we had a very big change, and I've been working for Gainer for many years. But it's very touchy or sensitive. But we are now having this kind of new change, and from outsider and from other teams, the two of the cars. And then there are the competitive makes, and then they are really trying to really compete with each other, and then also this is really a threat to other teams as well. Well, Fuji-san, yeah, I am now asked to say something. Fuji-san, what is your impression? And GT 300 class, two gainer cars, and then this year they have seen enhanced competitive power, and also in total package. I think all the other teams are really paying much attention to this, and so in the GT 300 class, these are the two cars which are drawing the largest attention or the highest attention. And then Mr. Krum, as the development driver, is there any advice you would like to give? And then, really don't hit each other's car. And then, but as has been discussed, And then there is this they have a very good sort of the competitors with spirit between the two cars, and then tire is the only difference. And I think probably they would be making excuses based upon the difference in tires, but of course each driver wants to drive faster than the other, and so the level of the team gainer is going to be definitely be enhanced. And as of now, you have this new machines, and then there might be some more tunings to be done, and in terms of the setting and others, and also the tire development needs to be conducted in a very intensive manner, and that is going to be consolidated and integrated into the work to be done in Okayama. And then in the race, I think you don't have any problem, but I think it is very important for you to have the really the passion to win against others. And Hiranaka-san, as the competitive closest to you, you want to really win. And then, we are already coordinating among ourselves who is going to win in which of the race. And then you have decided? Yeah, decided. And then I'm not really going to talk to them any longer, starting from today, in any way. So car number 11 and car number 10, we wish the very good luck. And then since we have the precious time, for you to really take your questions from the floor. And the person who really will raise the first the hand the quickest, I will bring you the microphone. And then when you get the microphone, please start asking your question. GT-R, GT3, and new machines. In your test, how long did you run in testing? How many kilometers have you run? Well, Yoshida-san is aware of that. Yeah, Yoshida-san is aware of that number. Yoshida-san, what was the distance? And 15,000 kilometers, and I would imagine, yes, that's correct. That's correct. And
I think 10,000 kilometers overseas. 10,000. Yanagida-san and Mr. Kun and Mr. Fuji. So those are the three drivers that drove that distance. I don't know the percentage between the three. Mr. Krum drove the vehicle in the longest. It was really fun driving the vehicle. So in the initial rounds, I think I will always stay in the pit, and if there is any criticism of the vehicle, then I will be criticized for that. It was a fun moment for test driving, for me, test driving. So I truly hope that all the teammates will do a good job in the series, especially in the opening rounds. Thank you very much. Thank you for the question. Any other questions? Any other questions? Please raise your hand if you have a question. Probably those who have never asked any questions today. So in the front rows. Thank you. Hiranaka-san, Yasuda-san. I have a question for them. AMG was the vehicle for the Yasuda-san, and then another vehicle for Hiranaka. When you hop on the vehicle for the first time, was it easy for you to get used to it, Mr. Hiranaka? The race car was changed, switched to GT-R. Well, no problem. This is a Japanese driver. It's easy. No problem. No difficulty in adaptation. In Malaysia, when I test drove it, as I mentioned earlier, the balance was so good. And when it comes to the more fine-tuned setting, it still needs to come. And we do not test drive in Yokohama yet, so we have to go through these tests. Otherwise, we will not be able to get closer to the title. But the vehicle itself is a fast car, and so we would like and to exploit that. Mr. Yasuda, did you find any difficulty in adapting it? And compared to GT3, ABS and traction control are added, and so the way of driving is completely different. ABS and traction control. Well, I'm somewhat concerned about that, so I couldn't use it. But with these functions, it is faster. And I asked Mr. Krum to do a good job with this kind of in this kind of a vehicle and in Yokoyama. So I asked a question of Mr. Krum of how these functions could be fully utilized, but I couldn't use it very well. Maybe a bad advice. So that yes, well, it seems to be it seemed difficult and to push on the acceleration pedal. The gainer is now you've been here, Mr. Hironaka. You've been working along and together with the colleagues in the gainer team. What kind of team is it? It's a very good team. Last year, for the first time, I joined the gainer. Well, Mr. Yoshida, for the first time, joined the gainer. So maybe you should ask a question of him. How about you, Mr. Yoshida? There's an at-home environment. So when I joined the team last year, I was really welcomed. But in the race environment, they are all very serious, and I can get precious advice from the colleagues. They are all professional drivers, really. And so in the second year, it is my great pleasure to drive the vehicle together with them. 100% good answer. Hoshino-san, now in going into the series this year, how do you feel it? In Seppan, that was the very first time for me to work with them. I was wholly welcomed and I'm really pleased. And it is really beyond expectation. I always worked as a rival driver. And the gainer always stays in the high ranks in the series, and so it is really a wonderful team. Number 10 and number 11, those two race cars. How is the performance going to be in the initial rounds? GT3 race car, the 300 class in Japan. At the same time, Mr. Krum, this vehicle or the race car is going to enter in Brown Pan Asia. So how do you see it? The tires are different. Pirelli is used. So that's an interesting part. Tire is different. So that would have impact on the vehicle potential. Tire development was really a big thing here in Japan as well. So in overseas, well, the tires were fixed, and so such championships are many. Therefore, we will have a chance. Hope that the audience will be able to pay attention to overseas races. Brown Pan Asia, the announcement is going to be made later on.
Well, we have been enjoying this discussion, but well, the time is running out, and the drivers will please stand up. And lastly, Mr. Mihail Krum, who was responsible for the development of the machine, and well, vis-a-vis this for GT offshore partner team gainer drivers, can you please give your message to the drivers? You are really giving a lot of pressures, and it's being often said this is also a job of the development driver. Well, thank you for that. well, we are very much looking forward to your performance this year. And then 500, well, exciting race. Everyone is really watching those exciting races, GT 500. But well, this year, two cars of the gainers are going to race and compete, and it's really going to be very important. And GT 300, well, we it's not really well broadcasted on TV or cell phone, but there are so many other medias who are really sharing this GT 300 races, and then I really hope that everybody is going to really look into the details of such a race, and then I am having the same feeling, and then I definitely would like to see the results delivered, and then to work hard. Well, I am really supporting them, and I like to solicit all the people's support as a development driver. Well, thank you for your message. In response to that, in the gainer representative, Mr. Hiranaka, I am not so well used to this Nissan way. And then, I wasn't really expecting to speak so much on the stage. Well, before the talk show, he was saying that unless he is really asked, he is not going to say anything. But I wasn't really expecting to speak so much. But I must have spoken the longest. But we are very happy to receive the two outstanding vehicles with different tires, and then always one of the two will compete to win the race, and then we would like to continuously be delivering the performance, and then we would like to drive and lead the GT 300 series this year. So looking forward to your continued support. And Mr. Hiranaka from the official partner team, Gainer, I hope that you will really perform well. And then this was the GT 300 driver talk. And thank you very much, Mr. Shikawa, and all the drivers on the stage. Once again, big round of applause to them. And thank you very much. And please, go off the stage.